Buenos días de nuevo.
Once again, good morning. We're going to have our second presentation in the program of Cultural Policies in Europe in the Face of Integration Challenges. In this case, we have Professor Jesús Baigorri JALÓN among us. He is director of the research group of interpreting Alfaqueque at the University of Salamanca. He was interpreting and translation professor for many years at the University of Salamanca. And I have the honor of being friends with him. We shared friendship for many, many years because he's also consultant here at the Royal Academy of Yuste. We wanted to introduce his presentation at the beginning of these days because he he's the curator of the exhibition Interpreters in Nuremberg. We inaugurated this exhibition at the beginning of the summer course, and this week it makes special sense because it's the 70th anniversary of the end of the Nuremberg trials, and this is a small example of how through culture and through photography and a research work we try to remember the essential work of interpreters when allowing communication and justice and equality when talking about the Nuremberg trials, and we also try and remember the important part of Europe and that essential part of the history of Europe. Without further ado, the floor is yours, Jesús. Thank you very much, Jesús. Thank you, the organizers and the directors of this course. I believe that one of the main cultural values in Europe is punctuality, so I'm going to be short. I had 30 minutes, but as we are running a little bit late, I'm going to be very short because what I really want for you is to enjoy and see the exhibition. I'm not just coming here to present the exhibition just for you to enjoy it. Precisely on the 1st of October 1946, that is 70 years ago and just a few days, the condemning sentences or non-guilty sentences of those indicted, the Nazi indicted for different types of crimes. Some started being new crimes like war crimes. And since it is the 70th anniversary, we wanted to organize an exhibition where we discussed the need of interpreters without whom communication among judges, defendants, witnesses, public opinion would not have been possible. When the Allies decided to bring to trial the supposed war criminal, they decided to set up a trial where members of the United States, the UK, the Soviet Union, and France participated. Americans and British, they could understand among themselves. French, with those who spoke English, a little bit more difficult, and Russians, well, even harder. But of course, then we had those who were indicted, most of them, they were German, and many of the witnesses too. So the presence of 4 official languages was needed. As Umberto Eco said, he recently passed away and he was a member of the Academy of Yuste. He said, the language of Europe is translation. And so it was very important to have interpreters at the Nuremberg trials. And this was also a way of paying tribute to this immaterial heritage of those who were not in history, even though through their voices and headphones the horror, the true horror of the Second World War past. With this exhibition that you can see in the walls and a 12-minute video where you can see the origins of simultaneous interpreting, we wanted to safeguard or highlight this memoir and memory of the interpreters. Sometimes they are named, and before they were known, so that everybody is aware that the Nuremberg trials would not have been possible without those who were the link and the glue for everybody to understand each other. At present, we are used to interpreters being at international courts, not just international courts, but also local courts, because now we have immigrants and we have legislation by which in any municipalities we can have situations where we can have trials with interpreters. So the figure of interpreters, not just in a booth like here, but as consecutive and next to the witness or the defendant. As I said, interpreters are with us every day. So this is the main link, and we thought it was very interesting to make the most of this occasion, even though if it's not a cultural policy, because the topic of language, as Professor Inke was one of the criteria. He said that it was one of the criteria maybe for Luxembourgese as a cohesion in Europe, which is curious because in Luxembourg there are many languages, and Luxembourgese is just a mix of languages in a way. So as I said, we thought that this exhibition was interesting in this setting. If there is any question, any comment that you may want to ask or make about the origins of the exhibition, then you can ask. Besides being, as we say in Spanish, a cook, I'm a friar too, and I wear two hats because I am a speaker and I am also one of the interpreters. So I'm just going to be hanging around here. You're going to see me every day, and I'll be your umbilical cord if you need a link in between languages. So if you want to visit and if you want to ask any questions, I'm more than ready to answer. Some of the people that are on these photographs, I knew them personally because I was an interpreter at the United Nations, and I met some of these interpreters who were very old and at the time, and I met some of the interpreters who originally worked at the Nuremberg trials, and we could share experiences, and that's why I wanted to pay them tribute. I would like you to enjoy the exhibition and the coffee break. Thank you.